Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tevaron here, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. This episode is going to be gameplay with Esper Control. It is my own take on a build of the deck, and as such has a few weird choices in it perhaps, but it's what has been working for me. So let's go over the deck list quickly. I'm running Jace, Vren's Prodigy, 2 Celestial Flare to help us with creatures that are hexproof or shroud, 2 Horribly Awry, 2 Telling Time, 3 Grasp of Darkness, 2 Declaration in Stone, 1 Liliana Heretical Healer, 1 Fleshbag Marauder, 2 Scatter to the Winds, 3 Spell Shrivel, 2 Anguished Unmaking, 1 Kalitas, Trader of Get, 2 Languish, 1 Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, 1 Guiltleaf Winnower, 2 Confirmed Suspicions, 2 Planar Outburst, 1 Necromantic Summons, 1 Jace, Unraveler of Secrets, 1 Obnixilis, Reignited, and 1 Sorin Grim Nemesis. The mana base is 2 Plains, 4 Islands, 4 Swamps, 2 Shambling Vents, 2 Sunken Hollow, 2 Prairie Stream, 2 Drowned Catacombs, 2 Isolated Chapel, 2 Glacial Fortress, and 4 Evolving Wilds. That is the list. As always, I will leave a link to a more easily accessed list in the description below. But it's time for some gameplay. This hand is iffy. I'm going to draw a new one. Yes, I like this much better. All of our lands don't come into play tapped with this hand. And we have a third land, which is also very nice. When you are playing a controlling deck that is sort of in this style of kill everything and counter everything else, you generally want to make your land drops every turn if possible. Let's go ahead and play a swamp. Just let it go back to our opponent. Hope to get a second white soon to bring our Celestial Flare online, although we do have mana to Languish if necessary. See what Sylvan Ranger gets. So it looks like we are playing against Abzan colors. Declaration in Stone is nice. We will not be bothering to deal with this Sylvan Ranger. I am perfectly fine with taking 1 or 2 damage a turn for a few turns. Hopefully get a 2 for 1 or better with our Languish at some point. And I do apologize if there are sections of the video where there are longer than usual stretches of silence. My allergies are acting up rather badly today, and those areas of silence are likely to be when I have edited out coughing or sneezing. Okay. Again, I'm going to let it go 1 more turn before I do anything. I'm okay with taking 3 damage next turn. We also have Shambling Vent out, so we can regain some life later on if necessary. Looks like our opponent is not attacking. That's even better, and makes me want to wait even longer. So we will do that. And now we have the mana necessary to activate Shambling Vent as a defender. Looks like they're doing something in phase. Archangel Avacyn. That's fine. I am actually more than fine with that. I guess that's why they declined to attack, at least with the Death Cap Cultivator. Alright, Westvale Abbey is entering the battlefield. We're going to take 4 here. And then we're going to Languish. Okay, so we're going to take 5. I'm not going to activate my Shambling Vent. I don't want it to get killed by instant speed removal. Or sorcery speed, as the case may be. Even if I block and gain 2 life, they could kill it with sorcery speed removal afterwards. See what they get with their Oath of Nissa here. Nissa Vastwood Seer. Kind of fitting. Would have been really nice if they had played Nissa, but 'twas not meant to be, apparently. We will play our Prairie Stream and then Languish. Leaving up... yeah, that'll be fine. Those two. That gives us Celestial Flare access if some sort of haste creature is in our future. Probably also attacked with the Sylvan Ranger there to keep Celestial Flare from killing Archangel Avacyn. Must have suspected we had that as well. Now I'm perfectly fine to make land drops here. I think that is generally more in our favor than in our opponent's favor. Okay, making clerics with Westvale Abbey. We can easily deal with those at some point with Declaration in Stone. And where there are tokens, they will not get a clue artifact. Let us spell shrivel Nissa. I would prefer not to have a flipped Nissa on the field. She is one of the better planeswalkers in duels. Okay, so it does indeed look like our opponent is straight Abzan with no fourth color. Scatter the Winds is nice, kind of keeps things under control. The question is if I want to deal with any of these things. We have Spell Mastery. We could grab Archangel Avacyn from our opponent. That would leave us open. Our counterspell we would not be able to cast Scatter to the Winds. So I think we're going to hold off on that until we get to a point that we can hold up Scatter, or until we've already cast Scatter on something. Right. Looks like our opponent is declining to attack, so they must not have removal for our Shambling Vent. That is good to know. Even better is we drew Confirmed Suspicions. So, let's pass back. I would be much happier if we were continuing to make land drops, but that does not seem to be possible at the moment. So our opponent is 2 creatures off of flipping Westvale Abbey. We do have answers to Westvale Abbey in our hand: Celestial Flare, Fleshbag Marauder, Declaration in Stone. Indestructible does not stop any of those effects. Also, we can just get rid of the tokens before they get to 5, thereby making it impossible for them to flip Westvale Abbey. And it does seem like they are very much on the Westvale Abbey plan here. Luckily, we get to make our land drop. At this point, we may want to Necromantic Summons because we can hold up counter magic. However, if I do it, I want to leave up 2 blue mana. Like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Necromantic Summons on Avacyn. She will be a 6/6 for us, since we have Spell Mastery. Could very well get removed. Right. 4th creature for our opponent. Almost want to let them flip Westvale Abbey and then deal with it, thereby expending a lot of resources. Expose Evil's going to tap down Avacyn. That's fine. Not too upset about that. Question is, are you going to play a 5th creature and try to flip the Abbey? No, you're just going to attack. I'm fine with that. Taking me to 10. Okay. So maybe they are wanting to try to get me when I swing, thinking they can pop Westval Abbey and then eat Archangel Avacyn. They will have something very unpleasant in store for them should they try that. We will attack. Attack for 6. Does look like that's what they are going to do. So bye-bye to 5 creatures, and soon to be bye-bye to Westval Abbey. Okay, pause, and sack a creature for me. That was very, very good for us and very, very bad for the opponent. Yup, I would be sacking clues too at this point. Oath of Nissa, that's fine. Hold up my counterspells for something relevant. Woodland Wanderer, okay. Your Woodland Wanderer is fine also. We will be fleshbag maraudering that Wanderer. Yes, that seems to be the correct play here. We will sacrifice the fleshbag. That will make our Archangel Avacyn flip as well, making her even larger and doing 3 damage to our opponent's face. Alright, pass the turn. And flip trigger. 3 damage. And we can possibly kill our opponent next turn, just depending on what answers they may have. Yes, we are not going to let that happen. And that is the game. Go ahead and finish this out, as it's only requiring 1 more swing. And our second declaration in stone there. And I will see you guys in the next one. I think this is worth keeping, so I'm going to do that. Kind of wishing we had access to a second black source, but hopefully we'll get there. So we're going to lead off with Evolving Wilds, sacking it right away so that I don't forget if I get into talking about something and just let the moment pass me by. Then be dropping Island so that we'll have Horribly Awry ready, and then Spell Shrivel the next turn, if necessary. Alright, so we have double blue now, when actually what I want is double white and or double black. Alright, Island for the opponent. So we may be in a controlling sort of mirror here. As such, I kind of want to play an untapped land so that I have Spell Shrivel up, but I also want to get my double white and double black as quickly as possible, so I'm going to play the Shambling Vent. Alright, telling time from the opponent. What do you have for me, friend? Ooh. Sphinx's tutelage. Yeah, now I'm really wishing that I had Spell Shrivel up, because Sphinx's tutelage is kind of a bad matchup for this deck in general, although Anguished Unmaking helps. As it stands, though, I think I'm going to let them mill us a little bit so that I can hold up counter magic, and then we'll Anguished Unmaking end of turn. Hopefully we don't walk into getting our Anguished Unmaking counterspelled. Alright, Oath of Jace. Hold on, well, I can't get... Wanted to pause there so that I could unmake this Sphinx's tutelage in response. Guess I'll do it now since it finally let me pause the game. We're still going to get milled. Losing mostly creature removal, though the Gideon and the Kalitas hurt. Guessing that our opponent is not playing with a lot of creatures, so we're not too sad to see those go. Very much wish I'd been able to pause and Anguished Unmaking that in response to the Oath of Jace. Sometimes it just isn't responsive. I don't know if that is server lag or what, but we're going to horribly awry this Woodland Wanderer. Makes me wonder if the Sphinx's tutelage is a backup plan in some of these decks that are running what would be aggressive creatures otherwise. It just doesn't seem like you would want to go aggression when you're trying to tutelage someone out. But I may be wrong. Alright, nothing from the opponent. And Evolving Wilds for us. I think we will get another black source here. And pass. Not wanting to attack with the Shambling Vent because that would stop us from having enough mana up to Spell Shrivel something. Well, luckily they did not get our Necromantic Summons as well. So we will have possibly an opportunity to reanimate Kalitas at some point. We just continue to make land drops and pass the turn, which is sort of the modus operandi for this deck, when it's functioning as it should. Oath of Jace continues to trigger there with hopefully no effect. You never can tell as many bugs as are in this iteration at the moment. Yeah, I think we should probably counter that. And so we shall. This deck is seeming to be a little bit all over the place and unfocused, so I don't know what the opponent is trying to accomplish for sure here. And now we can start attacking. That's fine. We will swing for 2. Opponent does have more cards in hand than us, so I'm wondering what all of that they're holding on to is. They are continuing to make land drops as well. Brilliant Spectrum. Pause. Thank you. Spell shrivel that as well. Okay, back to us. We got a telling time. I think we're just going to... Actually, I want a telling time, I think, to see what my options are here at the moment. Horribly awry could be useful. So I'll take that into my hand. We have Anguished Unmaking as removal. Although we also have quite a few lands right now, so I guess we'll take Declaration and Stone on the top of the deck. And we're going to pass here. See what the opponent has going on this turn. Looks to be nothing, or nothing that is relevant. And I don't know that I want to be attacking into the mana as such and get our Shambling Vent potentially Death Grasped. Or Grasp of Darkness, not Death Grasp. So let's pass. Kind of hate to be doing that, but seems to be probably the right choice at the moment. Another Brilliant Spectrum. I can't stop that. So they are going to get to draw and discard. Discarding Fog. Okay. And passing back. Gilt-Leaf Winnower. Well, there's only one black mana up, so I'm going to activate Shambling Vent. And I want to, yes, like that, leave mana open for Anguished Unmaking if we need to cast it. Do a little beat down here. Pass on over. Okay, well, there's not a lot of targets in this deck, so let's go ahead and Horribly Awry Jace. Get use out of our situational counters when we can. There's a Necromantic Summons, though. What are you getting? Woodland Wanderer? Ah, Sphinx. Well, you can stop a few things. Either Anguished Unmaking or Declaration. One way or the other, that Sphinx is dead. Which one did you name? Anguished Unmaking. It's weird. I figured you would have wanted me to take the life loss as well as getting the more versatile removal spell out of my hand for the future. So let's go ahead and declare that guy in stone. Play our Isolated Chapel. And once again, be on the beatdown plan. There we go. Slowly but surely getting there. Well, slowly anyway. The surely is yet to be determined, I guess. Green Warden. That's a shame. What are we getting back? Necromantic Summons, okay? And Sphinx's Tutelage. That is unfortunate. Even more so that I'm going to have to use my Anguished Unmaking on it rather than this. So they're going to get a second reanimation trigger from that. Actually, though, as low as they are on cards in hand, it might be better to just Anguished Unmaking this guy. That way they don't have a target for necromantic summons, though they could get Kalitas from our graveyard, which we would then kill with Guiltleaf Winnower. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into it. Anguished Unmaking there. May be the totally wrong play, but I do not want the whole Green Warden Necromantic Summons loop to get going on me. Doesn't seem like fun times on this side of the board. Okay. Hopefully we don't just get completely milled out here. Alright, trigger from Sphinx's tutelage. And just get 2. Jason Sunken Hollow. Second tutelage, that's bad. Alright, so sack the clue to activate both tutelages now. Minimum of 4 cards getting milled here. 2 from the first one, 2 from the second one. So no colors matched there. Good. Obnixilis. Okay. Going to get 2 more activations. We may not get out of this game. Sphinx's tutelage, as I said earlier, is just a really bad matchup for this control deck. Got our own Obnixilis. Don't know how much good that's going to do. Let's go ahead and cast it. And draw a card, I suppose. Planar Outburst is not what I wish to see. Well, let's do this. And I guess I should be attacking face here, because we are not going to kill Obnix with a Shambling Vent. Going to be milling at least 8 cards this turn. And they also have the mana to loot with Sphinx's tutelage. So it could be 12 cards milled. Yeah, I just really don't think we can win this game now. Yeah, we're dead. That's 16 minimum mills there between Obnixilis, Jace, and which they don't quite have enough land, I guess, to loot. But still, we're not dealing 9 damage next turn, even if we get another turn. And any one of these mills could easily trigger a second if colors match as well. But it is looking like we are going to get a turn. So I suppose there's that. You stealing my Kalitas or my Jace or something? Yes, you are. Yeah, that is game over. We'll go ahead and winnow our Kalitas back into the graveyard. Just because we can, I suppose. And I guess we'll draw a card. Why not? What's left? Great. Yep. That is a game. I'm just going to pass over. There's no use to be attacking. We'll let our opponent mill us out and then lose with 0 cards in our library. Yes, yes. Failure to draw a card, lose the game. I think we should probably keep this. Yeah, keep. And lead off with Shambling Vent, I suppose. Our land drops are a little bit awkward here, with having the for sure comes into play tapped Shambling Vent. And then we're probably going to need to go ahead with Sunken Hollow here. Yeah, well, no matter what we play, it's going to come into play tapped because Shambling Vent has no basic land type associated with it. So we will not have Horribly Awry available this turn, but our opponent didn't sack their Evolving Wild, so we probably don't have to worry about anything being cast. Alright, and now we have both Horribly Awry and Spell Shrivel online, so that's good. Okay, looks like the opponent is going to sack the Evolving Wilds this time. Don't know if they meant to leave it up, trying to draw more land, or they just let it slip, the opportunity slip past. That does happen. Especially where the game doesn't hold priority if all you've got are instant speed effects now. Alright, another Evolving Wilds. So it does look like the opponent is perhaps struggling with mana issues here. I'm not going to be sad about that. That is definitely a point in our favor. Right, sacking the Evolving Wilds there. And it appears that they are 4 colors. 5 colors. So we're probably dealing with some sort of Planeswalker-centric deck here. The many multiple color decks tend to be that. Not guaranteed, though. That's generally the case. Let them go ahead and resolve that telling time. Alright, second Oath of Nissa here. What will you be getting this time? Ooh, that's a miss. It is very rare to miss with Oath of Nissa. In my experience, anyway. Alright, so they look like they have come out of their mana issues. If there ever actually were any real mana issues there, it just may have been that they were wanting to thin their deck out. And it looks like we're going to have to discard here because we have failed to make our land drops. I think I'm going to discard the Flashbag Marauder. It is the most awkward thing in our hand to play at the moment. Yeah, let's get rid of Nissa for good, shall we? Don't want her coming back at a later time to give us further troubles. Come on, land. Thank you. And again, I want to just hold up mana to deal with problems from our opponent. It is tempting to go ahead and drop Jace and start using him, but we need to whittle down our opponent's resources more first. So we're going to spell Shrivel Lily. Get as many of these things completely gone and unrecurable as possible. Still have the clue generating counterspell in our hand as well. May get a chance to use that coming up. If they cast something that's a non-planeswalker that we can kill with Grasp or Celestial Flare, we will hold off on the counterspell most likely. especially if it's something I can kill at grasp, with grasp at instant speed, so that the next turn we have confirmed suspicions up still. Jace is also quite tempting. This Jace, as opposed to this Jace. Too many Jaces. Let's pass. Don't want to just play something to have it die and then not have an answer to something that is relevant. Alrighty. That is all 4 Evolving Wilds. You have done maximum thinnage on your deck with fetch lands here in this game at least. Alright, just passing. Land, please. Thank you. And pass. If I could get to the point that I can drop Jace Vryn's Prodigy and still hold up counter magic, I will be quite happy. Looks like a creature land from our opponent now. And land, good. So we will be playing Jace here. Hopefully he will survive. I'm not going to fight too awfully hard over him. You can Anguished Unmaking Jace, that's fine. Just want to get resources out of your hand so that I can start to overtake this game with Planeswalker advantage, if possible. Okay. I'm going to risk killing this because there's only 4 mana left up. Grasp it. Hopefully that's all they can do this turn. And it is. Gideon. I don't know, perhaps I should go ahead and start trying to get some Planeswalkers down. Probably better to do Jace because that will allow me to leave up Celestial Flare mana. So let's do that. And then we will scry and draw. Sure. I don't mind having another Spell Shrivel. Kind of like it, actually. Anguished Unmaking. Well, that's both the Anguished Unmakings. Bye-bye to our second Jace. And that's 6 damages that our opponent has done to themselves. Go ahead and get Gideon down now, since we can hold Spell Shrivel up if we do that. And we will make a White Knight ally. And pass. Hopefully we will draw another untapped mana source next turn to where we can deploy Obnixilis as well and leave up Spell Shrivel again if we don't end up casting it here. Radiant Flames. I'm fine with Radiant Flames, I think. Okay. I'm also fine with you attacking Gideon for 2. That does not get rid of him. Anything else? No. Okay. All right. Well, I suppose we will be swinging for 5. And attack. Now we have Celestial Flare available to stop Gideon from dying, at least to this Hissing Quagmire, and still being able to cast Spell Shrivel if we need to. Planar Outburst. Yeah, you're awakening, so we will be confirming suspicions. Now we've got these lovely clues to sack, and I want to make sure we can actually win this game, so let's play this out. Might be a little premature for our opponent to concede there. We're going to go ahead and play Obnix. We can still hold up Spell Shrivel. We'll draw a card with him. And swing for 5. One more turn of Gideon Beats will do the job. So the opponent does have the ability to activate and block here with Hissing Quagmire and a Gideon of their own. We cannot Spell Shrivel that Gideon because they can pay the mana. We can, however, Anguished Unmake it. Okay. Where are you going with that Quagmire? That's fine. Anything else? Oath of Chandra. Okay. Wait. That is not supposed to work that way. That should not have... Okay, it was with the... because they cast Gideon that turn. Never mind. That was fine. It worked. It's my bad. When it comes into play, 3 damage couldn't hit Gideon, but they did cast Gideon that turn, so it triggered the 2 damage from a Planeswalker entering the battlefield. Okay, well. Sack there. Get another black source. Then we will tick down. Destroy this. Anguished Unmaking Gideon. And I'm going to say go. I think. Is there anything worth reanimating here? No, neither of us has played any creatures worth anything at all. Or if we have, they've been exiled. Yep. Okay. So it looks like I may be finally getting to Celestial Flare this Hissing Quagmire. Alright. Sack a creature, please. An attacking one. And Oath of Gideon. I actually don't want you to resolve that. I would prefer there not to be 2 1/1s on the board. And would prefer even more if you're entering the battlefield Planeswalkers didn't get an extra loyalty counter. Draw a card. Okay. And we'll swing for 2. Your turn, friend. Anything at all. That might as well stop you from drawing into an answer here. Alrighty. We can deal with that. Go ahead and sack these clues. And draw 2 cards. Ooh, hello, Lily. However, we want to winnower this dude. Yes, use the ability. Activate this dude. And swing for lethal. And that will be it for this episode of Friday Night Magic. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave a like below. It really does help. Consider subscribing to the channel. You'll be notified when I upload new content. And until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.